Earth outpost. The Jagni tribe claimed this forever. Let's see. There's the tyrant who runs this outpost. He didn't expect his tribe to lose, as they're the ones that are ruthless. But now that you're working with their rival, he can see why. He's realized chance seems to take the side of the sharp-witted. It's their last line of defense. Once their guardian falls, they'll surrender. Outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger. Thinks you did a great job capturing the rival's third outpost, and believes the rival is weak enough to engage them at their fort. They all hope you can lead them to peace. The tribes need someone to unite them. It's a bridge. Just get over it. They've destroyed this area, muddied up what used to be muck, as if it wasn't bad enough before the tribe war began. That's the Jagni tribe's fort. Their friendship can be a blessing or a curse. It's up to you. You're either a part of their solution to the tribe war or part of the problem. Let's see. They've been waiting for you. Taking control of this fort will bring peace between your tribes. The scouts have reported activity nearby that's worth looking into before you enter the fort. They've positioned a storm tower near the fort that you'll use to get over the wall. However, you need to prop up its wheelhouse first to stabilize the situation. Says you don't have to knock to get inside. It's time to create your own path. A smart foe would leave now. It's time to set the rival tribe free. Inflict as little damage as possible as you make your way through to their sifu. You need to unite the tribes and save the Tree of Life to truly become free. That's a fire starter. The dry grass looks like it would ignite easily. You just need to create a spark to light a fire. It burns brighter than the light. Right in the face. Cut that one in half. Finished him off. If you're tired, maybe find a place to rest. Climbing's good. That's a pyro sizzler right there. Just get to work on it. Make it frizzle. The battering bonker looks like a great way to get through the gate. Bet you just need to knock and it'll open up. That's bonkers. The Jagni tribe wants to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. They want to vanquish the tribes as the only way they can guarantee peace is through supremacy. He didn't expect it would go down this way. It'll be hard to talk your way out of a fight. He's not sure if you're likable enough to just give up the fort without a fight. He realizes a peaceful end would be best. He'll entrust the fort to you. The rival Sifu is defeated, and the destiny of their tribe is in your hands. You are free to choose their fate, but not free from the consequences of your choice. He'll leave it up to you to decide the fate of the rival Sifu, but suggests you be merciful. Do good, and good will follow you. Thinks it's a good gesture to offer support to others when you can see that they need it. And with that, you're spinning your own fate, good or bad, never to be undone. Side by side they'll stand until order and stability is reinstituted. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. Your Sifu is pleased. You're one step closer to uniting the tribes. It's a pity you needed to use force to get the point across. But he's still concerned about the fate of the world. Believes the war you wage is based on the principle that if you win, the end will justify the means. He says you've grown so much stronger than when you first met. That little voice inside that lets you know right from wrong. Don't go against it if you want to enjoy life without fear of death. It's the Jagni staff. Everything is at stake. This box once tailed a chugga-chugga. Now it's just off track. Gizmo will always make time for you. Thinks if you need Wiz, you should look for the Surge Surf factory. He's usually there. Wonders what would bring anyone out on a dark night like that. Wishes you goodbye. Gizmo will always make time for you. What? There it is, the Tree of Life. The idea that all life is related by common descent, where the twigs are existing species and those produced in the past represent the succession of the extinct. The tree's great branches were once budding twigs, a connection between the past, present, and future. A representation of all extinct and living species with its ever-branching and beautiful ramifications. We are an evolution of those that came before. Biohazard makes your skin crawl. That's an improvement. Grab tight and don't let go. Looks like some solid wood scrap there. Just what you were looking for. Let's see. It's a place well hidden. It's just below the above. Out of Date's impressed you made it this far, but there's still so much left to do. The end of the world is still on everyone's minds. You've beaten a path where you have the power to destroy or save everyone. Question is, what you'll do with that responsibility. He can sense that your heart beats steadily and acknowledges that the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Thinks it's important that you remember who you are and where you came from. Someone without knowledge of their history and origin is like a tree without roots. He promises he'll be there for you. Just come talk to him beneath the tree if you're feeling lost. Out of Date says there's a time for everything. And now there's no use thinking of the past, for it's gone. Think of the present, because that's where you are. It's time to set your priorities as the one who completes things. If you continue to do good, good will follow you. If the world really does end, there won't be anywhere to run. So he's prepared for the worst, something he calls the Ark. He hopes you're right. He gets that you mean the journey continues either way, but personally he wants the tree to survive. Out of Date says there's no clear record of the chain of events that changed the course of history and brought the world to its knees. He's found evidence on the Ark, records of a crisis, decades of contamination that permeated the ground and broke its inner core. The contamination disrupted what we now know as Ki energy, the life force that runs through all things, living and inanimate. He's been told the blight affected everything at a genetic level and turned our perception of normality on its head. It was only those that changed that avoided extinction, proving that the possibility for survival and renewal was real. He understands you are curious about the ship at the foot of the tree. He says it surfaced when the oil broke through the ground. The Ark predates the back-in days, and now, after years of study of the manuals he found inside, he believes he's figured the ship out. The Ark has room for 4 more, and he trusts you'll apply wisdom to your compassion and choose whom to save if the world comes to end. He'll keep the seats open, and you are free to invite up to 4 others to join you in the Ark in the event of a cataclysm.
Alu alu hero.
Out of Date says that from what he's heard, you've been busy. He says he appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately he's got urgent news from his friend Goop in the southeast.
Ya you mawa nuekek ujbar no barke.
Out of Date says that even though he's unsure about your intentions, he hopes you'll support Goop.
Ya moluwando befarbihita huntokub kirko.
He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Goop and making sure he gets what he needs is up to you. That's the sound of impending doom. Out of Date's premonitions of imminent disaster are true. The Porkypuff needs to be handled. Out of Date says that Goop is worried now that the Southeast World Eater is stepping up its activity. He explains that Goop is working on a goo-gliding vessel in order to get to the World Eater, but needs help to get it done. Out of Date suggests that you should head southeast as fast as possible and see what you can do to help. He wonders what's on your mind. He says you really need to go see Goop as soon as possible. He wonders what's on your mind. Says you should take care. As long as karma exists, the world changes, and we change with it. This corner of the world is called Bricktown. That there's Subnautica Station. Goop flounders around in there. There's a lot on the line here. Let's see.
Langu. Azitawa. Yuki no walk. Tenko.
Gulpo ain't the easiest tongue, but I think he says he's happy to see a friendly face. Not too many of those around these days.
Kanduale.
Says it's good to see you again. He's Goop. You might remember him from the old days when he tried to teach you how to swim. Goop says you were always so righteous as a child, and he can still feel it, even at a distance. Goop says memories fade surprisingly fast. We are all pieces of what we remember. It's only together we can... He knows he's easy to remember. There's no one out there as cuckoo as him. He's one of a kind. Goop says our memory keeps things for us and protects them until we are ready to face them again. He understands you've returned to face Lupa Lupin. That's the destiny you've been carrying within yourself all these years. He says that the catastrophe back then didn't vanquish the good in you. It's still there, as bright as when you were a child. Now the time has come for you to remember and act. Your life is your life, not the story you're told about it. He thinks that's the right thing to do. It's only when you have forgiven that you'll find peace.
Light instantly banishes dark.
How much light do you really need?
All the light, all of it!
I mean, you could leave a little space for the dark.
All the light.
Says life on the goo is wide open. You have so many choices of where to go. Some harder than others, of course. Which kind do you like? Hit the open surf, then. The trouble is you can only rely on yourself, at least until you reach a new shore and make new friends. Can hardly believe the world is going to make it. Wonders what that's going to do to the goo. Thanks you for doing everything you could to de-goop the surf. Thinks the Myriad made a good match with you. You're both like sunshine on the surf. Never seen any brighter. Shine on. But hey, back to the goo. Knows yesterday is already gone. It's what you do today and tomorrow that'll move you forward. You need to set the past aside, at least for now. He can't leave the Subnautica station, as the pollution has worn down the insulation of his suit, so you must salvage enough scrap to fix up his goo glide, starting with the old wreck box outside. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the goo glide strong enough to fight the Porky Puff. It's not that it won't keep your head above the surface, but it needs improving to carry you across the thick goo out by the Porky Puff. You have a chance to change the future for good or bad. I don't think you could make a home here. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Just a few moves left. Make them count. You're injured. Toxanol's offshore drilling caused oily matter to spread with the rain and contaminate both the groundwater and open surf. The long-lasting effect this had on the evolution of wildlife was... You need to line up the switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. You can't really understand your story till it's done.
Mukam. Sayruya. Wingi wanakanwako. Mako.
He's got the goo glide functional. You'll have a pull hook and a salvage net, but no armor, and an engine strong enough to break through the thick goo further out. There are lots of valuables left behind on the surf floor that the salvage net will enable you to haul. You just need to find the right spots. Goop says Gizmo's devised a cannon for the goo glide, but instead of bullets, it flips quacks, squeaky distractions for the triple attentive porky puff, which will give you time to get yourself in position. The best way to find quacks is to talk to Gulp. He has the bearings of the surf archipelago and knows where the quacks like to float. This means you'll have the privilege of visiting Gulp in the Sinky Dink. He'll be able to give you directions to where... He only knows what's visible to the naked eye. Gulp is not much of a babbler and mostly keeps to himself and his drink. Welcome to the surf archipelago, where the horizon rests on the surfy goo. This is no time for sleep. You're poking around Hockbur, a prime village. Swing like you mean it. Says the tribe Sifu sent them here to help defend against the rival tribe that's been terrorizing their village. Isn't sure how long the village will last if it continues. As if the plague ruining the land and destroying the crops wasn't enough to bring the village to its knees already. That's what they call the blight that's been haunting the land since the old world ended in the apocalypse around here. The Sifu asked you to help, and that's what you must do. Wouldn't be surprised if you met again. Treasure the coming day. The world doesn't have so many anymore. Let's see. Wood scrap. The one kind of scrap you could actually still find growing. Don't know what that e-waste was. The day is wasting. Time to get to it. This here is the Sinky Dink, home of Gull, at the very least. He's pretty sure he's heard of you before, although the details are maybe a little hazy. He wonders if you have something for him to drink.
Eirade.
Guesses he does, but it's a long life in a wild world. Sometimes he's shaken, not stirred.
Aufslag. Korigfraun. Kabangi. Lobalenget.
Says you look like you've got a powerful thirst to do something in this world. Good, bad, not really sure, but it seems like you've been drinking in your destiny and liking the flavor.
Kabangeluba. Korigfraun. Surangan.
Wonders if you could take the time to help a man slake his own thirst. You'd be doing him a liquid solid. You're a do-gooder, so you know you want to.
Lobababtiranan. Muleide.
Either way, he hopes you find a way to wet your whistle before the world comes to an awful dry end and leaves us all thirsting for more.
Tamanugelen. Eiterat. Surangan.
Says life's like a mystery drink. Sometimes it's amazing, and sometimes it's awful. But either way, you can't stop drinking till you're dead.
Eiterat.
Sure, but that's nowhere near as quick and easy. Who wants to stop to chew? Wants to raise a glass to you getting the world fixed up a bit. Respects how you always try to help, no matter that the world's fate is hard to swallow. Sees why you joined up with the myriad. They like a peaceful drink, just like you. Something calm and soothing for your belly. But who cares about them? Says you'd be as bummed out as him if you came for the hot stuff. The glugmocker, Nimhimbibble, and his favourite radium syrup. That one's even more intoxicating now, aged in truck tankers and all. Without a drink, and radium syrup especially, he can't move, much less think, as the power of his mind is directly proportioned to the quantity of syrup he swigs. That's why he's called Gulp. The drink helps him forget the state the world is in, but it only lasts until tomorrow. The world is still doomed, even if the sun goes up. It makes most dumber, but that's his special burden to bear. He wants you to know he has other interests too. He's the Surfipelago's self-proclaimed ornithologist, for example. There are other ways than a cold drink to relieve stress, even in these dark times, and, fortunately for you, he can help. Watching pippies flap is calming, but better yet are the ones you can look at and touch, like quacks. Squeezing them is a great way to relax. They're better at floating than flapping, so you should be able to net a few without growing yourself a pair of wings. Much better than floating on a tube raft. The Quack Hollow. It's just loonly. Dismounted. Not opening for you. Small things for your big ideas. Don't need to aim much when you can fire this many bullets. This is all about you. Whether you succeed or fail, it's on you. Oh, it's locked. Locked. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. Let's pocket that. That's enough quacks to sustain the Googlide flipper with infinite ammunition. Goop says he was there when the Porky Puff took Out-of-Date's leg, so this World Eater has made it personal. After that, Out-of-Date started using his head instead of his legs and came up with the plan on how to best make a stand against the World Eaters, and it wasn't by foot. That's how he got tasked with rebuilding the Googlide. He seems happy to talk. Glad to have someone powerful on their side for once. Understands completely. He seems happy to talk. Understands you have other places you need to go. Keep your eyes as wide as you can. It's the Porky Puff nibbling bark. It took quite a liking to the crunchy stuff after munching down Out-of-Date's leg. Unleash the quacks. Ain't that cute? A two-bit playing with quacks. Brisk wind of change. Don't let this opportunity slide. He thanks you for dealing with another world eater. You're halfway there.
I'm thinking Affixes, Anna. Hello.
He's got word Out of Date spotted Lupin and has a feeling your time has come. He hopes you're up for it.
Whatever.
Even though you're good-hearted, you shouldn't miss this opportunity to confront the predator.
Sippy, kala to fole.
Just head back to the foot of the tree. Fingers crossed Lupin will stay put until you're there. You don't get to wander below ground like this every day. Out of Date says the time has come for you to reconcile with your past. Lupin is still staying in the camp where he was brought up. He hopes you'll find the answers you are looking for there. Even though darkness is a part of your nature, he suggests you try to keep your cool, as the best fighter is never angry. He'll point you in the right direction, but the rest is up to you. This part of the journey is one you'll have to do on your own. Lupin's camp has always been there, hidden deep inside the mountains. Out of Date hopes you'll find your way and the answers you were looking for once you're there. He knows he said it before, but the time has come to put an end to the Lupin's reign of terror. You should get over there, come face to face with destiny. It's going to be you against the Lupin. No rules. He's happy to help. We'll be around when you return. Lupin's camp has always been there, hidden deep inside the mountains. Tread carefully here. This is Lupin's camp. Lupin says he's been looking forward to this moment. He wanted you to come here and see for yourself where it all started. He was so little when your mother and kin came here to put an end to his mother just because she was different, a hunter. That night, the hunter became the hunted, trapped with nowhere to run. He says your mother showed no mercy, only vengeance. He can see that you're not like your mother. There's something different about you. Maybe you would have made a better decision than she did, and let them be. They orphaned him, left him alone, an outcast and a freak. Lupa Lupin says he's been reliving the moment every night since then. He says your mother and her disciples started something that couldn't be undone. They created the monster he would become. He knew his time would come, and he was patient. So, when he got news about your birth, he knew how to get revenge that would last. That's why he spared you that night he raised the village when you were a child. He wanted you to suffer for life, like he had. He marked you for life, so he'd recognize you when you met again, and you'd eventually remember where you came from. His hunger grew insatiable over the years to come. He tried, but being vegetarian wasn't in his nature, and he couldn't go hungry. But he's never taken a life for the sake of appetite. It's always been about survival, and that our true self is being who we are. A deep look into nature will make you understand everything better, and that natural selection eliminates, and the strongest survive. Fate is for those too weak to determine their own destiny, and now the time has come for you to accept yours. Daylight's nearly gone.
Boom, tubuko. Pa, wherefore, where?
Out of Date says that from what he's heard, you've been busy.
Koyevun, tuvun bonon, mokbu far kobi.
He says he appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately he's got urgent news from his friend Noko in the east.
Kotuvon ko kumlun kono, mok bebok.
Out of Date says that even though he's unsure about your intentions, he hopes you'll support Noko.
Kotuvon ko kumlun kono, luatolo maua.
He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Noko and making sure she gets what she needs is up to you. That doesn't sound good. Out of Date was spot on. The hoof puff needs to be stopped. Out of Date says that Noko is worried now that the Eastern World Eater is stepping up its activity. He explains that Noko keeps a fabled steed that she has planned to ride out to the World Eater, but needs help to get it prepared. Out of Date suggests that you should head east as fast as possible and see what you can do to help. He's happy to help. Understands you have things to do. Ah, the Gnote pen. Noko never leaves this place. She's always put the living things first. Let's see.
Puri kumbala mua. Asana yotpa.
Nooks isn't an easy language, but at least it's manageable. She says she is so happy to see you again.
Asadurutu. Inyavaldo.
She wonders if you remember her. She's Noko. She let you ride her Majut when you were a kid.
Monibasa.
Noko remembers you used to chase around with so much energy and is glad to see you haven't lost any of that spark.
Pala.
But that's all long gone now, though. Memories show us where we've been, not where we're going.
Pialtuma.
Believes everyone needs direction in this broken world. Your only hope is that you'll end up in a good place once all this is over.
Amu. Dere?
Noko remembers those days too, but she never lets herself wallow in them, no matter how tempting that can be.
Andro? Anoraka babon. Sana yote.
She sees you're back to buck with Lupa Lupin. Can't see how there's any way to avoid that now. Not for long, at least.
Tukonda. Dropal.
She says the horrors of your younger days were enough to ruin anyone, but not you. You've got all that cheer about you still.
Puri kumbala mua. Brumble na marsamambunundu.
Noko says history is like the trail you've been on. You can walk back down it any time you like until it's worn smooth. But you get to blaze your own trail from here.
Puri kumbala mua.
Then you are stronger than her. She can't help wanting Lupa Lupin to pay for what he did to her Gnotes, despite the fact it's against her nature.
The light shines on.
Better isn't the word I would use.
Right, not better. Best.
You're the worst.
The worst of being the worst. We're just the best.
Kanamunta.
Asks how many paths you've wandered in the world, and if you ever wonder about what might have changed if you'd taken different ones.
Masa maldere kamonu.
The choices can be overwhelming, but you have to choose, or you just stay where you are. And what kind of choice is that?
Amora kapapom. Kanamunta.
So happy the world is going to live, would have been crushed to see all the gnotes die with it.
Andro masa mal.
Likes that you stood up for the world and spurred your way toward helping it out.
Do male tu.
Glad you saw the light with the myriad. They always bring a sparkliness to any day, and sometimes the nights too.
Pala brumble na marsa mawunundu.
They're just so shiny, makes her smile to think about them.
Pala
But let's not speak of that now.
kanoruta.
She has an idea where the Majut might have gone, as there's no other place it likes as much as its own corner of the open wild. She's even named it the Majut Meadow.
Monibasa. Taifanamenuma. Amun.
The Majut will recognize the scent you've attracted while being here, so it'll probably trust you enough to follow you.
Boila kudo.
You should lead the Majut back here when you find it. It's going to take time to get it calm enough to be able to ride out to the World Eater.
Boila kudo. Arieroche nui mumera.
She's sad that something as wild as the hoof puff can't be tamed, but has to come to terms with the fact that you need to stop it. You need to show your mount who's boss. You found the Majut Meadow. Watch out for the Majut. Reach for those skulls. Perhaps now you can see your targets better.
Brumblea na marsa mawunundu. Asil natu.
Now that the Majut is back in the pen, it seems calm, but Noko is still concerned.
Kanamunt.
She says the Majut is still anxious, but fortunately she knows just the thing it needs to calm down.
Taifanana numa, Berry?
The Majut once found and ate a bonbon gummy by mistake, and that the chewing really calmed it down.
Kanamunt. Masamal. Pial tu ma.
She says that you should find some bonbon gummies for the Majut by the crossway. At least, that's where she found some last time.
Kamonu. Ala. Tukonda.
It's easy to describe. A crossway is where roads meet in a knot and merge. This one is in Sector 7J, if you're familiar with Out-of-Date's map. The best stories are about heroes. This is such a story. What got to time it right to make them work? Left, right, left, right. Pumping good, looking better. You can see so much farther in the light. That's a motored blind box dispenser. These auto markets were quite popular in the long gone for those who had coin left for fun. Cranks like these usually need to be wound to operate the dispenser. Just a few moves left. Make them count. What you see is what you get. Once it's out of the blind box, that is. You flick the switches in order to greenlight the current and activate the electrons in the panel. Good. The loop is electrified enough to spark. The story will go on as long as there is someone there to listen. Up for grabs.
Kuri kumbala muma.
With its attention diverted to the chewy bonbon gummy, the Majut calms down. But Noko is still concerned. She's relieved the Majut has calmed down, but you'll need a heavier sit-tight to ride it than the one she's got. The only sit-tight she can think of that would be heavy enough is one she's spotted mounted on an old-world mecha-Majut. If she remembers correctly, she spotted it at the Smilo Shopperia while scavenging for treats for the Gnotes. That's not so far away. Seems to her they preferred the mecha-Majuts over the living counterparts in the old world. Maybe the Gnotes were near extinct. No time to graze, let's go. You finally found the village of Bumlidoff. The Smilo Shopperia. Guess shopping here put a smile on your face. You need to believe how serious this is if you want to have any effect on it. Nothing simple. Need a key. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. Boxes like this. Now hold on, sit tight. Isn't that the Mechamajut over there? You need to loosen the bolts without rattling the Mechamajut. Just a few moves left. Make them count. That's it. The sit-tight is loose. Time to stop horsing around and get the sit-tight back to Nocco. Yuck! That there's a sludge gush field where the company used to suck sludge from the underground. Now it's all over. Every day is a new chance to fulfill your destiny.
Vasen no kasaman waru anaro lote.
Now that the Majut's got a mouthful of bonbon gummy and the brand new sit-tight is in place, the Majut is ready to ride.
Inyava aldo pala.
Nocco's been training another fantabulous little critter that'll hopefully become a distraction for the hoof puff when you confront it.
Pendrine senema. Aplitonomuta.
She's called them glitter moths, and the best way to find them is to go talk to Mito. She's asked him to keep them somewhere safe.
Domale tu.
You'll find Mito at Brightlight. He's a light-headed fellow, but hopefully he'll remember where he stored the moths.
Urasa dulut. Recentene.
She's noticed the front teeth seem to be a little loose, so you might be able to pull them out with the pull hook. Careful, nothing's sneaking up on you. This place is called Brightlight. Mito lives close by. Let's see. With the world getting darker by the day, there's not much time left to save it, and even though you've just met, he feels you're bound to play a huge part in that. Says there's so much darkness to deal with. Rather than curse it, he makes lamps to fight it. You've found your way through the darkness. You shine like the sun in the sky, but will you use that power to warm the world or burn it? Hopes you see how much good you can do with power like that, and how easy it is to let it drive you mad. No matter where your path takes you, though, it's important to remember where you came from. The past brightlights the present. Wonders if you know how much of an effect you've had upon the world. Your presence changes things like light changes darkness. Did you realize that when choosing where to shine? Says he can see that in the way you brighten everything up. So happy you know you're helping brighten the world. There's plenty of it that's still worth saving. Whatever happens to the world, you shone as bright as you could. That matters more than you know. Says you did the right thing in taking up with the Myriad. They buy lots of his lamps. That's a tribe that believes in the bright things in the world. Claims he wasn't trying to sell you anything. Now, says he can see by the twinkle in your eyes that you're not here to talk about your allies. He assumes you are here to be enlightened. He can't blame you, as everything just feels dark and hopeless these days. There's something about you, like you're knit together. Your fate's connected. What you've said, he feels too. So why not call him Me Too? He senses you're like the dayfly, living every day like it's your last, afraid that when night comes, it might be proved right.
Tunggu bolting. Saja sendiri.
Claims you both walk in different types of darkness, but you guide yourself by the same light.
Kupasa kumpu.
Mito says he's not only into those who shine bright, he likes things that glitter too.
Kupasa kumpu. Saja sendiri.
He reckons you haven't seen a glitter moth and says it's about time you did. Even though they're nesting near gone grass, they never run out of glow.
Kaikika kungkung.
Finding yourself a glitter moth would give you that glimmer of hope you need to continue all the way to the end.
Tesindo.
Glows with delight at your bright passion for the light. Stories keep moving whether you drive them or not. That place there's a real fixer-upper, not an entirely lost cause. That, you need to swivel the globus's bearings to get the atlas mapper to work. Just a few moves left. Make them count. You need to swivel the globus's bearings. It's starting to rain. Glittermoth Cave is right here.
Boila kudo.
That's enough glittermoths to make her plan work.
Asana jopa.
She wants you to stop worrying about the paths you've ridden and focus on the inevitable road ahead, the one that leads to confrontation with the World Eater. The hoof puff is evidence of the duality of evolution, utterly beautiful and grotesque at the same time. She means that the hoof puff has had more time to eat at the root as it's been isolated in the Knoopstonies mountains. So, based on that alone, she reckons it has suffered as much damage as the northwest root that's hidden beneath the surf. It reminds her of the gnotes and, like them, it's hoofed. They're just a lot bigger. That sealed the fate of the third World Eater. Just one more to go.
La fanen aginkan man. Wharimba.
Out of Date asked to see you again to congratulate you and let you in on the final phases of his plan.
Gala what?
This is your chance to get his priorities aligned with yours. Do right by your tribe and the world at large.
Get out full of vasine habele. La fanen aginkan man.
Just head back to the Ark. He seemed eager to see you again. There's so much more below the ground.
Fabobe, Mok Kofar.
Out of Date thinks the time has come to end the conflict between the tribes. There won't be any winners in this war.
Ewe Boboye.
You should know it's not too late to change direction by visiting another tribe's fort. However, it might be best to stick with the tribe you've chosen already.
Koyevun, Tuvun Bunun.
He believes it'll take someone with a light perspective and key to counterbalance the Sifu's energy in the end.
Boyobut Paikatawa.
Regardless of the outcome, you need to play your part and conclude the conquest. It'll be over soon.
Miami.
Out of Date reminds you that the time has come to end the tribe war.
Kutuvun Poputove.
He's happy to help.
Nuatolo Maua.
Seems surprised you have to go. This is no time for sleep. She wonders if the rumors she's heard about you finding the Ark are true. Thinks that's impossible, of course, but she also knows you regularly make the impossible happen. With the world recovering, the Ark would be a wonderful way to see it, so much faster than even her favorite Gnotes. Loves that you did your best to help the world rather than hurt it. You could have used much more of that, even before you returned. Any idea who might be joining you on your Arky journeys?
So, what we have here is an opportunity to help your next. There's a seat open on the Ark should you want to offer it as a gesture of appreciation.
Why? You don't need anyone else but yourself and me, of course, but I'm a part of you, so that doesn't count.
If you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go further, go together. The only one we'd want to get away quickly from here is darkness.
But you know you can't go on without me. Even if I'm bad company, I complete you.
I think we can finally agree on something. It is better to be alone than in bad company. But best of all is being good company yourself.
Feels deeply honored that you'd want her to come with you. An Ark is no ganote, but she can't pass this up. She's coming aboard. Noko knows she's known for saying things over again. Says you should take care. Got word you found the greatest glider of all, an Ark, and it's all good to go.
Itaku.
Can't imagine how that would feel, to zoom so fast.
Itaku.
Funny that you found an Ark when you don't need to go anywhere in it. The world's still going to be here.
Oh.
Proud of you for thinking about helping before escaping, either way. Wonders if there are any open seats left in that fancy Ark glider of yours.
So, what we have...
Why? You don't need anyone else but yourself and me, of course, but I'm a part of you, so that doesn't count.
If you want to go quickly, go alone. If you...
But you know you can't go on without me.
I think we can finally agree on...
Feels thrilled to snag a seat in your Ark. Can't wait to glide through the skies. Goop knows he's repeating himself, but can't help talking to you. Understands you have things. This story is as powerful as you'll let it be. He's helped out of date to get the Ark hardware restored. There's just some wiring left to do before the vessel's ready for takeoff. He just needs to reroute the excessive high spark to run through the proper plug in the system, so it won't break the path if it blows. Gizmo isn't sure you'll need to make use of the Ark, though. It looks like your efforts to save the tree and the world are paying off. He knows your good-hearted nature means you won't leave him behind, but you need to work on yourself if he's going to be isolated with you in the Ark. There are things you don't see eye to eye on. It's not that he doesn't care about others, but the fact that the Ark only has 4 extra seats means you have to be picky when choosing company.
So, what we have...
Why? You don't need anyone else but yourself and me, of course, but I'm a part of you, so that doesn't count.
If you...
But you know you can't...
He's been thinking this whole thing with the Ark through and has decided he won't be joining you. First off, he isn't 100% sure he's got the wiring right, and really, he doesn't think he can stand being in that enclosed space with you for long. Gizmo will always make time for you. Under... Let's see. There's the Sovereign who runs this outpost. He didn't expect his outpost to be invaded, but now that you're working with their rival, he can see why. He argues coming here without an invitation and bad intention is the same as invading. He has no illusion what their rival stands for. It's their last line of defense. Once their guardian falls, they'll surrender. The outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger. He says you did a great job capturing the outpost. You're one step closer to ending the tribe war.
Can't move.
Says you're in good company there. You're here for a reason. It's up to you to figure out what that is. Check out that motor juice station. Wonder if there's any go juice left in the juice tank. Your destiny waits on the path you'll take to avoid it. The Quirk-Quarp outpost. The Netra tribe first beat this into shape. Let's see. Just keep going while you can and don't stop until all outposts are under your control. There is a high boom team ready to help with taking over that. Seems happy to hear the arc shooter will be dropping high booms down on the outpost quick-like. Tells you to go fix that arc shooter so that... Control your destiny, or someone else will. Get up there and get fixing. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Starved. So much damage. Just a few moves left. Make them count. If a story is about you, care for it. Heard you were a somber kid and is glad you... Says talking to you was... Any sun is way better than none. Swing, parry, dodge. Just a few moves left. Make them count. All fixed up. The arc shooters are already gearing up the high booms. Hope their aimers are fixed too. The outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger. He says you did a great job capturing the outpost. You're one step closer to end. Says you didn't have much of a choice. We all share the same destiny, destruction or survival. Says you'd think with the world dying, everyone would stop trying to figure out ways to blow it up. Not so with Boom. He just keeps figuring out new... The noise is awful, but the bust craters are even worse. He blasted right past her now, though. This thing needs new bounce orbers. Let's see.
You don't have to know uitatut. Ulit vilutio.
Clarifies that rigging the odds in your favor in preparation of the takeover is one thing, but... Here's the first line of defense. That's a bomb lobber. That hit the spot. Wrecked it. A barrel shoot. Smack it to get a barrel out of it, then hit it toward the gate and blast it. That looks splody. Shoot it and watch it glow. Not too close, though. Give it a kaboom. You're in. Keep going. Here's the second line of defense. It's smoldering already. Give it a good smack. Give it a good smack. Almost there. The outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger. Thinks you did a great job capturing the rival's third outpost. They all hope you can lead them to peace. You can see a lot farther now than at night.
Alla vanlig plats.
They've been waiting for you, taking control of this.
All the goose are gonna have but it were a young
You better be. A tribe's fort is a bigger challenge than an outpost.
gala one day.
The plan is to fling you over the wall with a sling lobber. However, he wants you to secure a hard hat first, should anything go wrong.
Papa more.
It's better you go and find one for yourself. It can't be too much trouble, though. It's one size fits all. Let's see. It's serene and beautiful here. Heads up, that's Peak Spot, a great place to watch the world from. Who knows who might be watching you? seems the keys need to be in sequence to make the ring-dinger work. So, the technology from yesterday's is still here today, even if its message is getting old. Daytime means the clock to nighttime is ticking. It's time to set the rival tribe free. Inflict as little You need to unite the tribes and save the Tree of Life to truly become free. That's a fire starter. The dry grass looks like it would ignite easily. You just need to create a spark to light a fire. It burns brighter than the light. Don't lose your way in the blackness. Those skulls aren't going to crack themselves. The battering bonker looks like a great way to get. Bet you just need to knock and it'll open up. That's bonkers. The Netra tribe values liberty and is striving to protect freedom. They want to continue with each tribe being responsible for their own and believe that uniting the tribes is the only way you can survive. He was hoping it wouldn't end this way. There's no reason to fight instead of uniting. It would be fighting over nothing. He thinks being likable isn't enough. If fight is all you do, he can't stand by you. He's realized a peaceful end to this would be best. He'll entrust the fort to you. The rival Sifu is defeated, and the destiny of their tribe is in your hands. You are free to choose their fate, but not free from the consequences of your choice. He'll leave it up to you to decide the fate of the rival Sifu, but suggests you be merciful. Do good, and good will follow you. Thinks it's a good gesture to offer support to others when you can see that they need it. And with that, you're spinning your own fate, good or bad, never to be undone. Side by side they'll stand until order and stability is reinstituted. He's gotten news that the other tribes have The way he sees it is that you've been forced into opposition. Your tribe didn't start the war, but it's fallen to you to end it. It's clear your efforts have been successful. There's light at the end of the tunnel. The tribes are tired of war and will remember the one who brought them peace, whether you decide it'll be now or later. So, do you want to end the war now or continue the crusade? He agrees. Better save your energy for something meaningful. It's the Netra claw chain. It's so barren here.
Udeno kun nunyofobo. Poyobot. Poigatawa?
Out of Date says there'll be consequences of the war, but there are more pressing matters at hand.
Cantita duela bofo.
The last World Eater has been left undisturbed with the tree while you focused on the war.
Balu putulua ewe boboye.
He thought someone with your light perspective and key would have had different priorities and faced the World Eaters before resolving the tribe war.
Ewe boboye. E bubuko von vunvun.
Regardless, Out of Date is grateful the tribe war is over.
Tobwata.
Out of Date understands the road has been rough, but you already know what's left to end this journey, and it'll be tough.
Kutuvun poputowe. Yalawa watnawa.
You're the only one that's strong enough to face the last World Eater.
Luatolo mawa.
The future depends on someone with a light perspective to give the world a chance to survive.
Loma utolu ba yowo.
Only time will tell what the future holds, and if it will bring a lasting peace for those that make it to the end.
Farfarifto. Tuka kubu.
Out of Date says the word about what you've done so far is spreading. The tribes haven't lost hope yet.
Loma utolu ba yowo.
He appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately he's had urgent news from his friend Wiz in the northwest.
Empaso tombubu bukoye.
He's unsure about your intentions, but hopes you'll support Wiz.
Tuloya. Uto lola.
He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Wiz and making sure he gets what he needs is up to you. That doesn't sound good. Out of Date's hunch is real. The Merc Puff is up next.
Yamolowo muk bebuk.
Out of Date says that Wiz is worried now that the Northwest World Eater is stepping up its activity.
Befarbihita untokub kirko.
He explains that Wiz is working on an undersurf vessel in order to get to the World Eater, but needs help to get it done.
Yuba dolowawa. Miami.
Out of Date suggests that you should head northwest as fast as possible and see what you can do to help.
Yuba dolowawa.
He's happy to help.
Lotulu bayo.
Says there's an interesting place nearby that no one knows about, but doesn't really want to talk about it right now.
Mpa wherefore wewe. Weta gono.
Your alliance with the Myriad tribe is growing stronger.
Evunkutu buvum.
Says you're welcome back.
Shintwata moti huasa.
He guesses you're back for more.
Fofo umbak bakwa ababu.